Here we go. Here's the story from the Post-Millennial. Breaking. President Trump leaves protection of bulletproof glass to check on woman suffering health emergency at North Carolina rally. The president was met with cheers from the crowd as he walked off the stage in what individuals described in social media as a great act of bravery and humility. He hugged the woman. You had this, and then you had the Theo Von interview. And the commentary that I'm hearing is that advisors told Trump, someone did, you've got to soften on the edges and show some humility. You've got to show empathy and compassion and not be so angry all the time. And so with the Theo Von interview, he's calm, relaxed, down to earth, talking about these issues like he's a dude hanging out with you. And then you have this moment where he walks out of the bulletproof glass, which is brilliant in so many ways. It's a great opportunity for him, reminding people of the assassination attempt on his life, showing that he's not going to be held back by it, and then showing empathy for a woman. So I think he knows what he's doing. And I think this is a tremendous improvement for his campaign. So this is, I think, overall just great news and smart strategy.
I'm nervous about the stepping out behind the bulletproof glass thing.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I want that from my military commander right now. We need him safe.
This was also his first outdoor rally since Butler.
But this is Trump. This is intuitive Trump. This is ultimately Trump being Trump.
Yeah.
And I think that's a marked change. Even last week, we had Corey Lewandowski come onto the campaign, and you can already see the effects.
Yep.
You know, it's
smart move.
This is the OG of the OGs, right? He is the original gangster. He's the #1 Trump employee, the first guy Trump ever hired. So we have Corey to thank for President Trump in the first place, really. But, you know, what his book is essentially is let Trump be Trump. And if you knew Trump, like I lived in New York for 20 years, my whole family's from New York. This is what this guy does. Like he would write anonymous checks to, well, not anonymous checks, but send off checks anonymously to people he'd read about in the newspapers, and always kind of be like checking in on people. You listen to so many stories about people he personally meets and then just stays with them. Like even like a Bob Kraft, he's like calling the guy continuously. But you know, that's the nature of the man.
Take a look at this tweet from Newsweek, which is getting everybody all riled up. Donald Trump suddenly stops rally and asks for, quote, a doctor, please.
I was wondering how they're going to twist this.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? Is it Newsweek?
Newsweek seems a little schizophrenic. Sometimes they're like in favor of Trump, and sometimes they have this ridiculous spin.
This is not a negative story. This is schizophrenic clickbait.
Yeah, it's weird. It's
okay.
Weird.
Donald Trump stopped his rally and asked for a doctor because a woman fainted and he walked out to help her. But they're trying to trick people. They want to trick people into thinking Trump collapsed and said, "Oh, my heart." They're lying. But anyway, now that we've roasted Newsweek, here's a story from Newsweek. Weapons found at Donald Trump Asheboro rally. Person arrested. So is Asheboro, North Carolina? Did I get the city wrong? Asheboro, North Carolina. I said Asheville. It was wrong. It was weapons were found there, and apparently somebody was arrested. Police arrested a man at the rally location at 4:30 p.m. after Trump and his running mate, J.D. Vance, had already wrapped. And there have been no reports of injuries. Okay. I mean, that woman fainted. I guess she's okay, though. But look, I mean, this is crazy that Donald Trump, he steps out from behind his glass to check on some woman. Here's my fear. The people who want to hurt him show up disguised as rally attendees.
Jeez.
And then a woman goes, whoa, and falls over. When Trump comes out, that's when the bad guy, and they're not together.
Yeah, especially after this, now they know that he's willing to step out from behind the bulletproof glass. They might be able to incentivize him to do that.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we do have to keep the national discourse on the assassination attempt. And it's kind of scary that the campaign was able, you know, ineptly to let the attention be drawn away from it. Like it's a month now later, and, you know, essentially he's even or underwater in some of the polls. So what happened with the Secret Service? Congress really needs to dig in on this, and the campaign needs to say, look, don't go on break. Let's actually have the hearings and get to the bottom of this, because you're right. We all have the same concern about his health and welfare, his whole family. You know, my little kids. We have little kids at home. Every night we say prayer for his security and health, and for that of his family. But as someone who's been in a lot of these environments, I've always been alarmed by really what seemed to me to be a little bit lapse, lack of security when you're there, and you know, it's ultimately the Secret Service is a government agency, right? And nothing government does is going to be the way you want it. You have to stay on government. So its question is really for the campaign. Like, what are you doing to ensure his security? And securing his security means keeping it in as a frontal issue for the American people.